We welcome you back to the show, Namibia. Thank you so much for staying with us. Now, a road safety event is set to take place on the 8th of August at the Hage Geingob Campus right here in the capital. And the event is called Beyond the Crash. It's led by, that is, young Namibians who want to help prevent car accidents and also save lives. The event will also bring together survivors, health workers, students, and members of the public to talk about how road accidents affect people and how we can all be safer. So joining us here this morning, two organizers of the event, that's Hage Geingob as well as Selma Nangolo. A very good morning, guys. How's it going?
It's going well. Good morning to you and good morning to the viewers.
Yeah, good to
Good morning. Good morning. Thank you for having us. It's a pleasure to be here.
I'm so excited to get into, the campaign, the event and all of that. But I think a good place for us to start here this morning is because of the cause, what makes it so important for young people to lead this conversation, young people as yourselves, to lead this conversation about road safety in Namibia through Beyond the Crash? Maybe ladies first? You can go first.
So we feel like statistically speaking, of course, is that most of the people that are involved in motor vehicle accidents are people that are within the ages of 9 to 35. That is our productive population, and if you have people at that age dying off during car accidents, you won't really have a sustainable community, because every single person that is supposed to be productive ends up dying of motor vehicle accidents.
Mm-hmm. Bethel, did you want to add on to that?
Yeah, so what Beyond the Crash is trying to do, right, is to foster an environment where we encourage young people to become champions of road safety in Namibia, right? So we understand that when you educate a young person, you're not only giving them the knowledge they need to become responsible road users or pedestrians, but also these people, when they go back home, they teach their parents, they teach their siblings. We also understand that young people have powerful peer influence. We try to leverage that and use that and ensure that young people can encourage their peers and become champions of safety, to become responsible road users, pedestrians, and so forth. Yeah,
sure. Now, also in your view, why do you think so many road accidents involve, very young drivers and passengers? And where do we start to mitigate this in terms of, road behavior, or our behaviors on the road as drivers? Where are we going?
Yeah, so it's hard to say because it's not black and white. There are so many things that can go into what could cause an accident, but we do believe that reckless driving is a very important driver that causes accidents on the roads, a big problem on our Namibian roads. People are driving under the influence, people are easily distracted, unlicensed drivers are behind the wheel. And we want to ensure, people are not understanding that this is putting their lives at risk, their passengers' lives at risk, as well as people that are cyclists, motorists, pedestrians on the road as well. What we're trying to do is raise awareness and educate people, and that's what Beyond the Crash is trying to do, right? We are trying to become be a youth-led initiative that helps bring awareness around this situation.
Yeah. Now, what we also understand is that you are trying to hear, that is, from the voices of, for example, crash survivors and, emergency workers, how it impacts. What do you think? Why is it so important to hear personal stories? How do we, tie that, especially from young people?
So essentially, I do want to start off by saying I was one of the many people who weren't really knowledgeable on motor vehicle accidents. Like, I just knew that, you get into an accident, probably like broken bone, but I didn't really understand and have the burden of, these lifelong effects after this, And seeing so many motor vehicle accidents happening, coming in, like as a health professional, you'd be in the hospital and you see so many patients, and when you hear them revisit their stories and recount what happened, you realize that, these are things that could have easily been mitigated, if one had chosen to be more responsible. And so I personally believe that the more stories, the more people hear about motor vehicle accidents, the more burden of responsibility that they can have within themselves to be responsible passengers, drivers, pedestrians, cyclists, and everything, Yeah.
And also, a very big thing about Beyond the Crash is to also shine light on what happens after the accident. Not just to talk about how to prevent a motor vehicle accident,
Yeah.
or what is happening, who responds to a motor vehicle accident, but also to show that there are services available for you beyond the crash, to show survivors what can be done for you beyond the crash. That's a very big part of what Beyond the Crash stands
What services are available beyond the crash?
so if you think about someone who, let's say, was in a motor vehicle accident and was left disabled, there are physiotherapists and occupational therapists which can help this person maybe gain back mobility, or be able to live with their new normal, per se.
Yeah.
What about psychology?
Yeah, with respect to people who have, trauma
Yeah.
from the accidents, or they have lost a loved one, it really does leave a lasting impact on people's lives. And seeing a psychologist can help with that, they can help you navigate the emotions that come with that, the trauma that comes with that. So really just to make people aware that there's more that can be done after the accident. You're just not alone in this. You have a very well-rounded healthcare system that can help you navigate the lives after a car crash.
I like that. Thank you so much. What difference do you think it would make if more young Namibians had, for example, or learned life-saving skills like CPR, for instance, or basic life support? What difference would that make?
Yeah, so early intervention is important to help reduce the risk of fatalities on the accident site, right? If people know how to respond, they can be confident to know who to call, to know how to act, right? Say, for example, someone was in a motor vehicle accident and they're bleeding. Someone could get a makeshift tourniquet and stop the bleeding in time for help to arrive to the scene. Or if the heart stops working, for example, CPR can help deliver blood to important organs like the brain. And we understand in places like rural areas, help may take time to arrive. So if someone is well trained and confident in their skills of basic life support and CPR, these people can help reduce fatalities on the crime accident scene.
Yeah, and in addition to what he said, basic life support doesn't just teach you what to do, but how to do it, And there are some instances where you don't really have to do anything, because you never know if the patient has a spine fracture or there's a broken bone. You moving them, and a lot of people are really eager to act, not knowing that some of their actions can lead to more harm than doing good, So it kind of really teaches you that, okay, first analyze your patient, is he conscious? What pain are they complaining? Where's the area of pain? So you can really navigate to say that, oh, at this point, if they're saying, no, my back really hurts, I better not touch them. If that does not bring like immediate harm, the car is not on fire or things like that, it's better to just let it be and let the professionals come in and do the work. Yeah.
How do you guys think, schools, universities, youth groups, and so on can contribute, to reducing road accidents in the future?
So essentially, we like to believe that when you reach a student, you reach a family. If you start from primary years, your kids, you're teaching them before you cross the road, look left, look right, and then you look left before you cross the road, Or every time you're in your car, you put on your seatbelt. Such minor things, if you start implementing it in early childhood years, kids like going back home and saying, oh, mommy and daddy, this is what I learned today at school. Mommy, you shouldn't be doing that because it's actually wrong. So if you really implement basic knowledge from a young age, you're fostering a culture of road safety, a responsibility towards that.
Yeah, and Beyond the Crash also focuses on continuity of campaign. So we want to make sure we advocate for programs that can help implement education about these kinds of things. Maybe basic life support or CPR from grade 7, say, for example, and then later on in grade 10, then there's a continuity that goes into campaigning for this, as well as teaching people at universities as well, enrolling them or providing basic life support, road safety classes and so forth. Also, with youth groups, we understand that young people, when they love to help. If there's a vibe or a certain hype that's built around something, young people would love to be involved. And so we want to leverage that and help them have them come to us and help become champions of road safety in Namibia.
And just to add on to what he said, I feel like as Namibians, we take a really good example in implementing basic life support in our curriculums and our health educations. Like many countries in Asia, in the States, they have, every single kid knows that this is what you do And just to clarify, basic life support doesn't just tackle the whole notion of car accidents, like what to do in a storm, what to do here. So if you have that, kids can, you don't have to panic that no, people wouldn't know what to do. They can easily help prevent, fatality in certain situations.
Interesting, very interesting. So is this the first of your road safety event?
Yes.
Okay, great stuff. Because now my question is, all right, come the 8th of August and your event is done, then what afterwards?
So essentially, we really don't want to let the dialogue end with the Beyond the Crash event that's happening on the 8th of August. We really want students to go back to their homes, to go back to their families and engage their community and inform them that, hey, this is what I learned, this is what you do. And, have that burden of responsibility yet again towards road safety. And actually, we are planning on, and we're having a campaign in collaboration with NANSO and Ohangwena region to tackle the high schoolers specifically, on road safety. We're going to have a tournament around that. And the way the young people could actually help us is any person who is willing to volunteer based around Ohangwena or surrounding regions and willing to volunteer to help us with the event, you're more than welcome to reach out to us.
Yeah,
Yes.
the conversation just does not end 8th of August. Like I said, we want to foster champions of road safety. We understand that practical problems require practical, continuous solutions. And so that's what we plan to do, to move beyond just the 8th of August.
What about your your other stakeholders? Are you guys teaming up? Because you just mentioned NANSO now, and it would actually be really nice to see you guys, team up with other stakeholders as well.
Yes.
How's that going? Because sometimes forming partnerships can be a little bit of a struggle, and also. How's that going?
Yeah, so we're having conversations with stakeholders that will help align with what Beyond the Crash wants to achieve. We're excited for what's in store, and I think people should look out for that on our social media platforms.
Great. Now, for those watching right now, the youth that are very inspired by this conversation that we are having today, and also the cause that just, how they feel about the cause, how can they get involved if they want to get involved with Beyond the Crash? Who do they contact, and so on?
Yeah, so they can find us on our social media platforms, Beyond the Crash, Instagram, TikTok.
TikTok as well, guys.
Yeah, TikTok as well. We
That's
have
where the vibes are
Look at
at.
your smile. We just heard TikTok and you're like, yes.
Yeah,
Okay.
and stakeholders who may be interested in Beyond the Crash can contact us. You can find our details there in our social media platforms as well. We want to iterate and make sure that people know that it's important that we are building on foundations that the country has laid, right? We want to reach Vision 2030, the Sustainable Development Goals of sustainable communities and cities, health and safety. We see what the Namibian Police Force and Lieutenant General Shikongo do, right? And we want to build on that and help steer road safety and sustainable communities towards that direction. So stakeholders and people who are interested can find us on our social media platforms and join the conversation.
Yeah, let's get it moving. Let's
Yeah.
go with the conversation. But I don't know if you wanted that to be your last words, but I think that was quite, that was a nice way to, from your side, your final words. So maybe just Salma, from your side, what, would you like to tell the youth out there, drivers, passengers, pedestrian, those fatalities have also gone up lately, pedestrian, if we look at those numbers, they're staggering now, So final words from your side, what would you like to tell the nation?
Being careful isn't boring at all, We need to learn to prioritize speed. Lives over speed. We need to prioritize vigilance over convenience. You need to keep in mind that it's not only your lives that you're taking care of, it's the life of the next person, it's the life of your communities. So put on that seatbelt. As a pedestrian, don't just jump into the road, because when you hear drivers that the person just jumped out of nowhere.
It happens.
It really happens. And so really be a responsible person in your community and intentionally carry out road safety. Yeah.
For sure. Guys, it was nice having you in studio. All the best with your campaign. We look forward to really fruitful outcomes and so that, your first event of this nature can become your second and your third and your fourth. So you can have many of these. I'm really super stoked and excited for you guys. And yeah, thanks for your time. Thanks
Thank
for
you
being
so
here.
Thank you
much for
very
having
much.
us. We're
Great stuff.
excited as well.
Great. So there you have it, Namibia. There you have it. Young ones come through. In studio here is Buffalo Shikongo as well as Samanongolo, and they are from beyond the crash. That's they're part of the organizing team, and they will be hosting that as an event, road safety event on the 8th of August, all right? You are more than welcome to get in touch with them, find them on social media platforms. They just said it here, get in touch. And Corporate Namibia, we are also calling upon you to get involved if you can. We have plenty more coming up to stay with us.